Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming today. And for those of you who are honorees, happy anniversary. Woo! Welcome to your 25th anniversary celebration. My name is Christy Yeager. I'm the Public Information Officer, and I'm your MC today. And I'm just so glad that the Oklahoma Municipal League sponsors the honor roll of service ceremony for cities and towns throughout the state. Each year they honor municipal employees statewide who reach the 25-year service milestone. The City of Oklahoma City is proud to add 108 employees to the roll this year. Will all the honorees who are here please stand up? Combined, today's honorees have more than 2,700 years of service to the city. I did some math. I'm not too good at math, but I did some math, and if we traveled back 2,700 years, we would be in the Bronze Age, actually 681 BC. So we've got a lot of experience in this room and throughout the city that we should be very proud of. Today, we're here to honor you and thank you for your commitment and accomplishments over the past 25 years. Your 25th anniversary is the perfect time to reflect on your career, the positions you've had, the projects you've completed, the coworkers and the supervisors that influenced you. We thought it'd be fun to ask employees about their more memorable work experiences, and this is what they said.
Well, I'm old, Greg, so it's been a while, but as I remember, we were over across the street, which is Old City Hall, and fourth floor, and it's interesting because now we're the whole 8th floor up here, and we had a little office, and it was just desks kind of stacked, like 8 or 10 different desks, and everybody's phones all ringing, and we were using a radio then to get to inspectors, and so quite a change, but kind of exciting, but kind of chaotic. Like, well, what am I getting into here? You know, and so
yeah.
it was good though. Yeah.
How long did it take to get used to?
It took a little while. Still, yeah. What time is it? What time is it? Probably a month or two, as I recall, or something. Yeah.
My first day on the job was like, it was something new to see a lot of guys. Everybody's dressed in blue. You know, they always call a blue-collar job, and everybody's dressed in blue, but everybody, you felt at home because everybody was trying to make sure that I had this, make sure that he had this, make sure you got that. And to try to get put on a truck, we want you to, because normally they try to fill positions for the trucks that has less people. And I finally got on a truck with the less people. And I just felt at home.
Well, my first day, like I said, I had been in the restaurant business, just killing myself, working weekends, nights, going in early, staying late, and I wasn't happy. I couldn't raise a family. So my first day here, it was wonderful. I got to come in, work 8 to 5. I started on December 20th of '93. So coming from the restaurant business, then I walked right into the city during the holidays. And so it was awesome. It was taking the days off. I worked like 2 or 3 days and got a couple of days off and a long weekend. And well, that was a good feeling.
In a nutshell, it's helping other people. I've always enjoyed helping other people no matter what I was doing. And at the core of our job, we're actually servants, and we get to serve the public. And it's good and bad. We get to see a lot of good things. Unfortunately, we have to deal with a lot of unfortunate things too, but I just like to be able to help other people.
The main thing is the people. It is a family. It's an extended family. And just the people you get to work with in your department and in other departments, and then outside of the city. And then just serving the residents of Oklahoma City is a passion I have.
The people, the helping the citizens is so rewarding. I've been able to I don't know any place else you can work in all the different areas that I've worked in and have the experiences I've had. It's never tiring. If you feel like you're ready to grow and move on to something else, there's opportunity here. I used the tuition reimbursement program and got my degree when I was ready. I grew up in the city, and the city offered everything I needed along the way to progress through my career.
I think it's just been my whole career with the city has been in customer service, and I've gotten to share how great our city is with people. I've always worked with the public. I've always, in the kind of a tourist industry, when you're at the gardens, it was kind of touristy. So, I was always able to share where we were going and what exciting things were happening with our city. And here I get to help people clean their neighborhoods up and recycle better and be better citizens. And you just meet great people. We have an awesome city.
Gosh, it's hard to pick one. I don't know if this is a favorite. Some of the most memorable things that have happened is I worked in the PIO office when the bombing happened. And then 3 months later, I went to the fire department, and the fire department was still very enmeshed in the aftermath of the bombing and the things that were going on, and it was still a very busy time. So it was very interesting. And then I worked in the mayor's office when we got the thunder, and that was very exciting because I got to actually sit in the office with the mayor when he got the call that we got the team. That was just a very exciting time.
Just to get to see downtown evolve over the years. It's been tore up a lot, but boy, when it's done, it's really amazing. And some of the favorite memories I've got is just sitting here at the office thinking, hey, the Thunder play in town tonight. I'm just going to walk over and get me a ticket to the game and enjoy the game that night. Never thought I'd be able to do that.
You pick up on a few traditions. One was you'll hear this phrase, center punch, and whenever our cook or somebody takes the time to make a nice cake or a nice whatever dessert, normally in a square form of some form or another, as soon as he or she walks away, somebody will come up and they'll center punch the cake. They'll take the middle piece out and it'll disappear, and of course the cook comes back after putting all the love into it, and they'll be going, you got to be kidding me, man, you messed up my cake. Well, we had one guy, I won't mention his name, he could get a little warm under the collar, we kind of did this with him. But what we did is after we center punched it, we grabbed some paper towels and we stuck it in the middle, and then we just got the icing and kind of smoothed it over. And that we thought it would be fun, but the timing was he cut the cake and he ended up with that piece, and we're just talking up around the table, and all of a sudden we see our old buddy, and he starts biting into this paper towel and with frosting on it, and he's getting hot, man. He's starting to realize what went on. And we kind of just scoot out of his way, and luckily he didn't throw the whole cake in the trash.
They always had a motto is being baptized. Have you ever been baptized through the city for the water department? I said, no, what is that? No, I ain't never. So they never would tell me. So, as I'm working and, learning the job and everything. So one day, I never forget, it's right down here on 2nd Street. There was a 20-inch water main. And at that time, we were replacing lead services. So every house, we had to go and replace their services. So there was one service on this 20-inch water main that was kind of hard. And the guy said, well, young man, he said, it's time for you to get baptized. I said, baptized? He said, what do you mean? He said, you see this little deal here? He said, just take it off. So me being naive, I don't know what he's talking about. I took that curb stop off, and water shot across. So I said, well, how do we stop it? He said, well, we can't shut the water main down. So you're going to have to take this curb stop, and you're going to have to shove it on there, and you have to twist it on. Well, I say about an hour later, here I am in this water, and it's filling up. So finally, when I finally got it on, I'm just knee deep in water. And I said, oh, this is what you mean by baptized, because I was soaking wet.
When I was at the gardens, and I generally was the closing manager. I would close every night at 6 o'clock and would walk through the Crystal Bridge and lock it up. And then we had security. And the next morning, I had just did it on one evening. I had just done a regular close. And the next evening, Alan came in and said, we had a guest last night after hours, and Dan Fogelberg had actually like hid in the Crystal Bridge and then just enjoyed a couple of hours of private time in the bridge overnight until about 9 o'clock, and then he asked the security guard to let him out. And so obviously the alarms, had to be adjusted and stuff, but he signed our guest book and said that he just enjoyed his downtime. And, and I was like, ooh, I thought I checked every nook and cranny when I left, but quite obviously I did not. So we kind of got a big charge out of that. And
just a lot of good memories. I think they may. I'm going to stay a while, so I don't have to retire, do I?
I don't think they're kicking you out.
Okay, I'm not going. I go. You stay.
I want to thank everybody for baring their souls for this video. I think you did a great job and told some really great stories, and I'd love to hear everybody else's story in this room because I'm sure there'd be tons of them. I know I have my own stories as well. To put your 25-year career into perspective, think about the fact that most marriages don't last 8 years. So your 25 years of service with the city has lasted a long, long time. So it must be love, I'm thinking. Employees with longevity are critical to the city's success. Leaders who adopt the attitude that anyone's replaceable, thinking they can simply hire someone new to replace a seasoned worker, is fooling themselves. When an organization has experienced employees like you, employees carry value that simply can't be replaced. You have extensive knowledge of the city processes, our unique history, and perhaps most importantly, you know where all the minefields are. You hold relationships that have been built over many years and take many years to duplicate. In case you were wondering, City Manager Craig Freeman is also a veteran employee. Mr. Freeman started with the city as a young technician in the budget office back in 1992, so he started 1 year before you did. He's a 26-year city employee. Please welcome Craig Freeman to the lectern.
All right, thank you very much. I'm just really grateful to have the opportunity to be here. I used to always watch Jim do this, and I never paid attention to anything that he said. I'm just kind of going through the process, and so you get an opportunity, you go, now what did he do when you did this? And it's like, I don't have any idea. So we're going to wing it today, but I really do want to thank all of you for the service that you've provided. I know not all of the city employees that are receiving the 25-year recognition are here today, but I want to thank all of you for what you do. I've been so thankful and so blessed to be able to serve here, and I'm now grateful to be able to serve in this position, but it's thinking about the employees that we have out there. Oh, gotcha. It's thinking about the employees that we have out there. You've been called out. That and the work that they do that made me have confidence to be able to go forward in this job and take on this challenge, because I know the great work that you all are doing out there. So I just want to say thank you for that. I do want to say, Christy mentioned the fact that that last year I got my 25-year recognition, and I think back on that, and she was asking me just to reflect on some of what my thoughts were when I was sitting in your position, thinking back over my career. And when I started, I don't know about you, but when I started with the city, I never thought that I would work for the city for 25 years. Now, I didn't think I wouldn't, but it just wasn't on my radar. I couldn't think that far ahead. I didn't know 25 years existed. Beyond that, I was barely 25 years old. And so it was just to think of that and think back at that. It's like, I look back at that career, and it's like, when I started, I came in thinking I'd work for the city for some period of time. I didn't know how long it would be. But as I got to see the professionalism and the culture of integrity and the commitment to excellence and the great people, a couple people mentioned in there, it was the great people, the opportunity to serve. And I looked at that and I said, this is an organization I want to be a part of. This is an organization that I want to commit my career to. And it was because of you all, of people just like you, co-workers, just like some said in the video, that it's people that you get to work with every day. That's part of what makes Oklahoma City a great place to live and a great place for us to work. The city's achievements are made possible because of your work, coming to work every single day and working with excellence and serving the customers that you serve, whether it's internal customers or it's directly serving our citizens, that you are the ones that are making this possible. You've worked through some of the city's most defining moments. You think back, you all were working here when April 19th, 1995 occurred. You've been here through some of the worst severe weather events that we've had in the city and worked through those events. You were here when the Bricktown Canal opened. You were here when the Thunder played their first game in the Chesapeake Arena. You were a part of that. And I think for all of us to think back in whatever role that we're in, that we got to contribute to this and be a part of this, part of the success of the city. I believe we have the best citizens, the best employees. I think we have the best citizens too. But I think we've got the best employees of any city in the country. And our own citizens think that as well. In our citizen survey that we do every year, citizens rank our employees, our services from the city, that the city provides to them, at about 57%. There's 57% satisfaction. You think, well, that doesn't sound so great. But when you look at the survey, that's 8% above the national average for other large cities. Government services are often looked at in a negative way, and we get lumped in with broader levels of government. I love local service and what you all do and what you provide, because we serve our citizens where they live every single day. And I'm just grateful for the way that you all do that and the example that you set. So just once again, if you would join me in a round of applause for those who are being recognized for their 25 years of service. If we step back in time a little bit and we think about the world in 1993, and you look on the local side, we've had 4 mayors elected in that 25-year period. We had Mayor Nork, who was serving when you all started. After him, Kirk Humphrey served from 1998 to 2003. Mayor Cornett took over in 2004, and he served for 14 years as our mayor. And now Mayor Holt, who's standing at the back of the room, he served, come on up here. He served, yes, if you would. He started just about a year ago in April of last year, and so I'd like for him just to say a few words for us, if you would. Thank you.
Well, it's my honor to have a moment to express the people of Oklahoma City's gratitude to you. And, Craig is a perfect example of the excellence, but I'll echo what he said about having the best city employees in the country. When the position of city manager came open, last year, it was so patently obvious that we would ultimately go with an internal candidate because we had so many great internal candidates and because the track record of your work was so tremendous. And, our citizen survey that we do every year bears that out. The citizens of Oklahoma City are more happy with their city services than almost any other large city in America. But I want you to understand, that's not typical. Most cities always feel like they need a change, and external candidates are the norm in city management hiring around this country. But obviously it's a testament to how great Craig is, but the fact that all the leading candidates were internal candidates was a testament to the excellence of this city staff and the excellent people that continue to rise up in the ranks. And longevity is a big part of that. So I stand before you as a former city employee, and I suppose a current one as well, but I'm one of the few mayors, I think Zach or somebody in PIO went back, it was like 100 years ago, maybe there had been a mayor who had previously worked for the city in some capacity. But in that whole interim, nobody else had, and so I take some pride in that one time I sat in your pews, although not for 25 years, obviously. But, and I don't think I'll ever make it that far. But I did work for the city, and so I know, even from the front lines, how valuable your service is, how much you put into it, that this is really a calling. It's not just a job. I hope, and Craig's here to make sure that your compensation and your benefits and all those things make it worthwhile for you. But I know that there's also a mission here, and I think it's my role as mayor and with the other 8 elected officials to make sure that you always feel like you're a part of a mission, and that there's something greater than yourselves at work here. And that is certainly what we feel like we've done for about 25 years, for sure. 25 years ago in 2 months is when the voters of Oklahoma City passed maps. We've been on that mission for a quarter century now with you, and we want to continue that. So, but your good work has put us in a position for that renaissance to continue and to expand across the city. And I think the other thing that is my chief responsibility is to continuously and daily, just like a spouse, as Christy alluded to, express my love and gratitude to you. Tell you how beautiful you are every single day. Unlike a spouse, Christy, it's not till death do you part, however. They don't have to die in their jobs. So again, thank you for all you do. We're so incredibly grateful. And when I say we, I mean the 650,000 people of Oklahoma City that I speak for. Thank you for your service and enjoy today's celebration. It is certainly well deserved. Congratulations.
Okay, now I can't say that's the first time that's happened, but it's the first time I'm aware of that we've had a mayor be able to have time to come in and to speak to us. So I really appreciate you being here for that. What's that? First time. So even Christy thinks it's the first time. So we're thinking back still, and you look back at city managers. So Don Bound was city manager when you all came to work here. And I don't know how many of you all remember Don Bound. Don Bound was a character and very interesting, made things very fun. After him, Glenn Deck served for a couple of years, and then Jim Couch served for 18 years. And, you know, several people have said to me, those are big shoes to fill. And I've said this over and over again. People probably get tired of me saying it, but there's some shoes you just don't fill. You know, if we were an NBA team, we would take Jim's jersey and we would hang it from the rafters, you know? I mean, you just don't do it. You come in and do the best job you can and try to follow the example that he's set, and that's what all of us are trying to do. But he really set us on a great path moving forward, and I'm just grateful for the leadership that we've had here. The MAPS program was approved in 1993, and you think back, I think you can easily call that a success. And you think of what, I think a couple of folks mentioned, you think what it was like in downtown when we first came to work here, right? I came in 1992, you started in 1993. You think what downtown was like. It was vacant. It was a scary place to be. Now, there was no crime here hardly because there was no one here to have crime against. I mean, you know, 5 o'clock, you were gone. I mean, you just left town, and there's just paper kind of blowing around, and that was all that was left, you know. And to see the renaissance that we've seen, I think, you know, within the downtown area in Oklahoma City, but throughout our community, just the way the personality of our community has changed. And I think for us, I think it affected us too organizationally, that we stopped looking around at other cities and, you know, regretting what we weren't and decide we're going to be the best Oklahoma City we can be. And it's visionary leadership that we've had with our elected officials and business leaders that brought us to that place where we could be proud of who we are, be proud of Oklahoma City. And now people are wanting to move into Oklahoma City. We've got population growth continuing because people want to live here. Even young people want to live here. Our budget in fiscal year 93-94 was $304 million, and this past year was $1.56 billion, and so a little bit of change in that time. When I look on the employee side, our city employees donated $125,000 to United Way that year. And in the Heart of the City campaign this last year, you donated $612,000. In national news, Bill Clinton he started his first term as president. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was appointed to the Supreme Court, and no offense to her, but I thought she was old then, and she's still serving. And so I don't mean it. I mean, my perspective then was she was old, and now I'm there. So the cost of a Super Bowl ad in 1991, it says it was $900,000. In 2019, it's $5 million. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills 52-17 in the Super Bowl that year, and the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Phillies in the World Series championship. The top song that year was I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, and a close second was Whoop There It Is by Tag Team. And these are both really great karaoke songs. So we thought to mix it up a little bit this year, we'd have all the 25-year recipients sing that song for us. So here in a little bit, we're going to let all of you come up. No, we won't do that. I won't do that to you. I would lose my job, I think, probably, if I did that. You all would run me out of town at least. So your journey with the city started 25 years ago when you sat down at orientation. And then through those years, you went from being the trainee to now being the trainer, or the trainer. You went from being the rookie to being the veteran. You're someone now that people look to as an example. They look to for advice. They look to someone that they can follow. And I just really am grateful that we have people like you that can set that example that we continue on. The mayor said it best, that we aren't going to be here forever. I don't know when our career's end. I'm hoping that you all won't decide to retire right away. But our careers are going to end at some point, and what our job is to do is to pave the way and help lift up others so they can follow us and continue the kind of service and the kind of excellence and the kind of example that you all have set. The past 25 years have brought their share of ups and downs and victories and defeats, and whether you were in an office or you were in the field and you wore a suit or you wore a uniform, all of you all have contributed to the success of the city, and you continue to contribute to the success of this city. Employees like you are the reason for our success. And I just want to give my sincere thanks to you and tell you how grateful I am to be able to serve alongside you and to say that I'm a city employee because I work with people like you. So thank you all so much for all that you do.
Thank you, Craig. Mike Fina is the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Municipal League, and the Municipal League sponsors the ceremony today. Mike's here, and I'd like to invite him up to say a few words.
Well, congratulations. 25 years is quite a milestone. I'm very fortunate as the Executive Director of OML that I get to travel the state, and I get to speak to a lot of groups. In fact, I wasn't traveling last night, but I did speak to a group in Oklahoma City. I spoke to New Health Solutions. It's the cannabis industry professional group. A thing called Policy and Pints. First public speaking that I ever did with a beer in front of me. And I have to say, public speaking gets so much easier with a couple of beers. So Craig, next year, this is. I'm just saying, I've seen the positive effects of it, Christy. So I get to do these often. It's one of the most favorite parts of my job. I was in Norman last week. I'll be in Midwest City next week, getting to honor 25-year employees. Last year when I spoke to this group, it was one of the first that I spoke to that I talked about a new term that I coined, and it's municipal professional. I always refer to municipal folks that work for municipalities as municipal professionals, and it's obvious because we have so many people that will spend their career here in municipal government. And I think that should be honored, and I feel like that term is more appropriate for what you do as a municipal professional. And it doesn't matter if I am here or Norman or Godibo. What I see are the same hardworking folks in every municipality across the state. I'm a proud citizen of Oklahoma City. This year has been interesting because you've lost an all-star mayor and an all-star city manager. That's a lot of turnover. Most cities wouldn't be able to function as well as you guys have with that kind of turnover. And as a citizen of Oklahoma City, I can tell you, I know firsthand that things are working well because this week when they came by to pick up my trash, the guy accidentally dropped my trash bin off the edge of the curb, and he broke the wheel off of it. So I called Oklahoma City, and I told them what happened, and they said, no problem, just leave it out there, and we'll be there in 3 days to pick it up and bring you a new one. They were there in 2 days, and there was a new trash bin out there. And when I walked out there and I looked, I was like, that was really great, 2 days. And then you kind of don't give it a second thought about it until you think about all the things that had to go in to getting that trash bin back to my house and the people that it had to go through and the efficiency that it took to not only get it done, but get it done early. That's impressive. That's why you have the 57% approval rating of your citizens. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about, because you are the key to this. This year at OML, what we've talked about around the state is what I think the most important function of municipal government that's different from what they do at the Capitol, different than what they do in Washington, and that's provide the quality of life for our citizens. That's ours. That's what we do. And it doesn't matter what your position is with Oklahoma City or any municipality, you have a function in that, just like the trash bin. That made my quality of life as an Oklahoma City citizen that much better. So take pride in what you do. I know you already do that, and keep up the good work. And just know that from the OML's perspective, we are so proud of Oklahoma City, and especially proud of you employees that have dedicated 25 years and hopefully many, many more to this city. Thank you for having me today.
Our honorees today will receive a certificate, a lapel pin, a photo, and a congratulatory letter from Mr. Freeman. Your name will be added to the Honor Roll of Service book that's located at the Oklahoma Municipal League. You still have that there, right? Okay. And that's on Northwest 23rd and Walnut. Okay. So as I call the department, will the department director or representative please come forward and help with the presentation? The department director will present you with the lapel pin from the Oklahoma Municipal League. Mr. Freeman will present you with the certificate, and Zach will take a picture. He's right over there. So to save time, I'm only going to read the names of the honorees who have RSVP'd. But if you did not RSVP, it's okay. We want you to come up anyway. So before I move on to the next department, please raise your hand, interrupt me, do anything, because it's important to me that we bring you up and we get your picture. Let's start with the airports department. And we have Mark Cranenberg, who's the director. And our first honoree is Engineering Assistant 2, Jeremy Coffey. Jeremy, how many years have you been working for the airports? And then before that? That's what I thought. And then before that? Oh, wow. All right, good. You've been around. And so we're going to, wait. Picture time.
I almost missed out on your picture.
I know, I won't do that. I just knew Jeremy's been around. Our next honoree is Don Cortimer, who is an airport's maintenance superintendent. Thank you, Don. And the last airport's honoree is Kevin Lee, an airport security coordinator. Congratulations. The next department is Development Services. The director is Bob Teener. And our honorees, the first honoree is Michael Cronick. He's an Animal Welfare Officer 3. Next, we have Mark Magdalena. He's a plans examiner. Yeah. Next, we have Donna McMurtry. Murtry, I need to wear glasses. With plans examiner. Elaine Nelson Lewis is a unit operations leader. Next is Wanda Thomas. She's a lead customer service rep. Next up is the fire department, and the chief is Chief Kelly. We have 3 firefighters who are here to be honored. The first one was featured in our film, Louis Marshik. He is a public education instructor. Next is James Williams. He's a battalion chief. And last is Battalion Chief Marcus Williams. I'm told there are 3 more firefighters here. Okay, is John Erickson here? He's a training officer. Yep. Okay. Lieutenant Charles Cartledge III. And the last one is Lieutenant Paul Deaver. Another one? Okay. Ronnie Saley Jr., who's a major at the fire department. Okay, no other firefighters here? Nope. Okay. Or anybody with the fire department, I guess I should say. The next department that we are going to bring up is the Municipal Counselor's Office. And we have Amanda here and Wiley representing the Municipal Counselor's Office. Both of you come on down. We have one person from the Municipal Counselor's Office that has 25 years of service and who's here. And that is Carolyn Garrett, who is an Assistant Municipal Counselor too. LaShawn Thompson is the director of the municipal courts. So LaShawn, if you'll come down, there she is. And the first person that we're going to honor is Senior Municipal Court Clerk John Cravens. Gayleen Keaton is the business manager. Come on down, Gayleen. Oh. Next is the Parks and Recreation Department. Doug Cupper is the director. And our honoree today is Community Center Supervisor Prince Mitchell Jones. Park style right there. Our police chief is Chief Bill City, and we have several people from the police department to honor today. The first one is Dorothy Aberton, who is a report clerk. Next is Sergeant Teresa Bunn. Sergeant Brian Cook. Lieutenant John Dawson. That is an entourage. Captain Thomas Krug. Is it just me, or is this getting awkward? Our next honoree is Administrative Coordinator Lynne Jackson Bonner. Get ready for a hug, Lynne. Next, Captain James Miller. Our last police honoree is Sergeant Travis Woods. Public Works is our next department, and the director is Eric Winger. Eric, how many years do you have with the city? 24? 20 or 24? 20? 20 accrued.
I have 24 accrued and I've been back 20.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back. Our first honoree is Administrative Coordinator Tanya Barnes. Next is Terry Clark, who is a crew chief. Terry? Raymond Melton is an environmental protection manager. David Phillips is an environmental unit supervisor. And Lynn Tower is the construction project manager. Our Our last department is the Utilities Department. The director is Chris Browning. He's making his way on up here. The first person that we're going to honor is Gwendolyn Mustafel. She is an administrative coordinator. Next is Unit Operations Supervisor Larry O'Brien. Facilities and Plant Mechanic 1, Victoriano Pera. Don't want to lose your pen. And our last honoree is Assistant Director Brett Weingart. Oh, okay. He's not really the last one. Don't go anywhere. No. And who else do we have from Utilities? Come on up, Zach Phillips. She's looking for you. We'll go ahead and do the picture while she's... Is anybody else here from Utilities or any other department? Okay. Oh, found it. Well, congratulations to everybody. Happy 25th anniversary. We've got a reception for you downstairs, so if you'll make your way down there and have some cookies and cheese, eat all you can.